If you're wondering about selling your home while living in Orange County, then you're in the right place. On this channel, we're sharing all the tools for first-time home sellers and covering topics like, should I buy a new home before selling the old one? Can I determine my home's worth on the internet? And the best pricing strategy to sell your home. These are the questions you must ask before selling your home so that you'll know how to put the most do-re-mi in your pocket when you sell your home. Be sure and check the description box below for any free giveaways. Now let's get on with today's episode. Hi there, my name is Rami like Do-Re-Mi. I am a top producing agent, a best-selling author, and an award-winning interior designer. I've been doing real estate for well over 20 years across 4 states, and I have a few things that I'd like to share with you, a few insider tips for when you get ready to sell your home or maybe buy your next home. And stay with me till the end of the video. I'm going to share with you one crazy, stupid, silly, but true real estate story. It's the favorite part of what I do, and you won't want to miss it. Now let's get started. All right, let me switch over here to my laptop. Here we go. In the last episode, we went over a few essential questions you must ask before selling your home. And I'm showing you the thumbnail right here on the screen from that video so you can easily find it. See the moving truck up in the right-hand corner? That was part 1, and today is part 2 of the questions you must ask before selling your home. If you're thinking of selling your house in the near future, then there are a few questions to ask before moving forward. We're going to cover some of those today in this part 2 so that you're armed with the tools for first-time home sellers, even if this isn't the first home you've ever sold. Okay, so here comes the first question you must ask before selling your home. Should I buy a new home before selling my old one? This is a very personal decision. Having a new home ready to go can bring peace of mind when selling with no timeline pressures, but you may also get stuck paying 2 mortgages. However, if you sell the old home first, it might mean temporary housing and moving twice. Neither option may be ideal, but some people find that moving to their dream home is worth the inconveniences. So what are the advantages of buying a new home before selling the old one? Well, first and foremost, you'll have a roof over your head and peace of mind in knowing where you'll land. Another big bonus, you can move gradually as opposed to doing it all in one day. The second advantage, you won't have a pricey storage bill, which can literally be thousands of dollars, and you won't have to pay a moving company twice. The third advantage, depending on the market, if inventory is low and desirable properties go within days of listing, your dream home could be gone in a snap. Sometimes it's time to snap it up rather than lose out so that you can get moved right in. And the fourth advantage, one of the biggest advantages of buying a new home before your old one sells is that you'll be relieved of open house duties, private showing duties, and all that it takes to keep a home clean, the pets under wraps, and the young children quiet, especially if they're home from school. Let's face it, it's annoying to have to disappear every time somebody wants to come see your home. Now, what are the disadvantages of buying a new home before selling your old one? Well, the biggest, of course, is how will you afford 2 mortgage payments? You may also be in a situation where you need the equity from your current home in order to make a down payment on the new home. You may also have utility bills and property taxes on both homes. So, what to do? Well, here are some options. Digging into savings is one option. Cracking open that piggy bank, writing an offer on your new home that's contingent upon your current home selling. That's not exactly a hot offer. Another option, getting a home equity loan, or using a bridge loan to bridge the gap during the time you're waiting for your current home to sell. You can check out HomeLight, Knock, Fly Homes, and others. Just Google, buy a home before you sell. Buy a home before you sell, and Google will show you what options may be available. Okay, go ahead and drop a comment below and answer the question, would you ever do a bridge loan? Some people feel like it's a lifesaver, and others feel like the interest rate is just too high to go with that option. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you would ever do a bridge loan, yes or no, and why. All right. Here comes the next question. Let's assume that you are ready to sell your home. Then the next question you must ask is, what's the difference between a list price and a sale price? Well, the list price is the price where your home is listed, similar to the MSRP of a car. The sale price is what it actually sold for, the price the buyer negotiated with you. When we hear that a house sold for X dollars above list, that means that the house was listed for one price, but sold for a different price, just like a car. Now, in a seller's market, the market conditions favor the seller, and that's when sellers will often get a price that's over their list price. And why are we talking about this? Well, because here's a pricing strategy that can benefit your bottom line. Let me throw some numbers on the screen for you here. Let's say that you'd like to sell your house at fair market value for $800,000, but hopefully get $850,000. You'll want to list it at $800,000 right on the button so that you can catch people looking in a range that's under $800,000, but would still be willing to go over that. Now then, what happens if you list your home below fair market price? Let's say it's $760,000. What happens? Well, you're likely to get a lot more attention on your home. And because you'll now have more buyers looking, you're much more likely to get a higher price. This is a strategy that agents use often because not only will you always get fair market value at the end of the day, but the urgency will usually create an increase for your bottom line. Okay. If this is the first time on the channel and you don't want to miss any tools for first-time home sellers, then take a minute to subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications. This will also help people just like you who want the best information. On this channel, we talk about how to put the most do-re-mi in your pocket when you sell your home. We get calls every single day from people asking, how do I sell my house more quickly? And we love it. Whether you're looking to sell your house and move tomorrow or somewhere down the road, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom call. We are happy to help, and those links are below. All right, here is the next question you must ask before selling your home. If I receive an offer that I don't like, should I ignore it? If you have more than one offer on your home, you can ignore any offer that you don't like. But if you only have one or two offers and you don't like a price, at least negotiate by submitting a counter offer. If you don't, you'll never know what price the buyer was actually willing to pay. You are wanting the highest price, the buyer wants the lowest price, and most often the seller and buyer meet somewhere in the middle, even if negotiations go on for days. Now, I wouldn't get into all the game playing that we see on reality TV shows. Any negotiation, just like any communication, is a ping pong game. The buyers submit an offer. If you don't like it, then ping pong it back to them with the price you're willing to look at. They may or may not ping pong it back again. I think the most I've seen in my career was 7 times that the buyer and seller went back and forth. Just keep in mind that as long as you're caught up in the counter offers, and it doesn't matter whether you're the buyer or the seller, as long as you're caught up in counter offers, the other party may suddenly go in a different direction and you could be left with nothing. So I don't encourage a continual game of ping pong as you try and find the bottom line. You might get left out in the cold. Let me know in the comments below, if you were to receive an offer that you don't like, would you likely ignore it? Or would you counter it and see if you could come together with the buyer on the price? Be honest, no judgment here. Everybody has their own strategy. I'm just curious, what would you do if you received an offer that you didn't like? Leave me a comment below. All right, on to the next item. The next question you must ask before selling your home: can I determine my home's worth through an internet website? Emphatically, no. Let me just be clear about that. Third-party websites, sometimes called portals, are not local to your real estate market. These sites use computer-generated values based on very broad calculations. They often bring a false sense of hope and unending frustration. Now, 3 of the biggest real estate portals are Zillow, Realtor.com, and Trulia. We all know this, but here's a little-known side fact. On these 3 portals, on all of them really. If you do a home search and leave your information, these portals will sell your information to countless agents and mortgage brokers, maybe even insurance agents, who may hound you until the ends of the earth to try and do business with you. So I always tell my own clients that if this isn't the experience you want, don't leave your email address or your text number. Through artificial intelligence, they can also follow you all over the internet. If this isn't what you want, use an incognito window to do your searches. If you have to put in your contact number to access the information you want, leave a Google number or an email address that you don't check that often so that you aren't constantly interrupted in your day-to-day routine if you don't want to be. Now, if this does happen to you, or if it's already happening and it's making you crazy, drop me a comment below and I'll give you this super secret way to make it stop. Okay, so the question is, can I determine my home's worth on the internet? Those were the three main portals that people love to use: Zillow, Realtor.com, and Trulia. Of course, there are others. I like the MLS. So can you determine your home's worth on the internet? By now, I think you've all heard of the epic fail where Zillow's own CEO got a value for his home and it was off by a whopping 40%. The Zillow's estimate, which was known as a Zestimate, valued his home at 1.75, but it was actually only worth 1.05. So feel free to use Zillow, Redfin, SmartZip, and any of the others as part of your research, but not the final word on your home's worth, not by a long shot. And so I'll give you an idea of what I mean. Let me go back here. You'll see on the screen that I'm about to log into the MLS. And I'm going to run a basic search in Irvine, California. And I'm doing this inside the MLS, which is the industry standard real estate database where all properties are listed. And by the way, this is a common question, so let me just address it right now. All listed properties are in the MLS database and then syndicated out to other websites. If I list a property at 123 Main Street today, it will syndicate out to Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, and every other portal. It will also syndicate out to every individual brokerage like Century 21, Prudential, Keller Williams, and it will also syndicate out to each individual agent's website. That's broad exposure. So if you find a property on one website, you'll find it on all the others. There are no secret properties. If a property has been listed, it's on the MLS. Okay, as of today's date here, you'll see here on the screen that I'm running a search for Irvine for active 3-bedroom homes. These 11 properties show up, which surprises me a little bit, I guess, but have you heard? We have a shortage of inventory. So you'll see that these are in price order. I'm going to look exactly in the middle, right at that median price. Can you see where I've circled it in red? This property is priced at 1.465, and you'll see that it's been on the market for 78 days. Yeah, my little red circle is a little bit off here. I'm trying to nudge it down, but it won't. Just right at the bottom of that little red circle. Can you see that? So I'm just pulling a random example here, looking right in the middle. I'm not picking on any particular property, just looking for an example. Now then, let me pop over to Zillow, and you can see where it shows the value at 1.447. See that? It's circled in red for you right here. That's an $18,000 difference from the list price, you guys. No small change. I mean, what if that's money coming out of your pocket? I don't know about you, but I can do a lot with $18,000. So this is just one of the reasons to not glop onto an internet value. It's usually inaccurate. Now, back in the MLS, as an agent, I have a handy dandy button that I can use to look at the recently sold comparable properties. See the button right here inside the red circle? This button will automatically pull similar properties directly out of the MLS. Are you curious to see what the automated value of this property might be? Well, let's see here. The MLS actually will pull 20 comparable properties. I'm showing the first few here, but not all 20. And you can see the red circle there in the middle. That median is 1.365, showing that this is a reasonable middle-of-the-road value. If this is accurate, that means that our subject property that you can see down there at the bottom of the screen, our subject property there in Irvine could be listed $100,000 too high. But wait, remember a while ago when I said that Zillow issues a computer-generated value that isn't local to the market? So here we are, pulling comps directly out of our own MLS, and this is local to our market, yet it's also automatically generated. So what do you think about the value? Would you trust this? So let me do what a professional agent does, and I want to pull comps by hand myself and see what we get. Now, here's where it gets interesting. See the red circle? As an agent, I'm only able to find 2 comps. And I even expanded up to larger properties to try and find comps, but I couldn't. So now what? Well, I had to go outside of this West Irvine neighborhood to find at least 7 comps, which is what we need to establish value. We need at least 7 comps. And what you're seeing here are the best 9 comps I could find. Now, I'm immediately seeing that the only comps in West Irvine right now are, strangely enough, the 2 lowest comps we have in all of Irvine. Can you see those prices there at the top in the red circle? The 2 best priced comps, the 2 best matches, are at $945 and $980. And can you see at the bottom of the screen that our subject property is priced at $1.465? What's the difference in price between these? Who has a calculator? Well, that's about $480,000 some odd dollars off at the list price. There's quite a disparity here. Well, that may be why this house has been on the market for 78 days, even during a fairly robust market with low inventory. So here's a question for you. If we have such low inventory, then why hasn't this house sold? Is it overpriced? So let's look here at the median. Can you see where the red arrow is? We can see that the fair market value is probably right around that $1.1 million mark. So is our subject property price too high? Well, that's still a $365,000 difference, right? And this is why we can't rely on automated numbers for our property values, because we could be $350,000 off or more. Now, full disclaimer here, I didn't dig in and look at the lot size. It might be fabulous. Whether it had a pool, it might be completely customized. Whether it's near an award-winning school, whether it has upgrades, a view, an elevator, I don't know, comes with free diamonds. I don't know. I didn't dig in super deep. I am not trying to establish a true value for this home or suggest that it isn't priced right. Not at all. This is just a teaching example for your own property to illustrate whether you can determine your home's value through an internet website. And the answer is emphatically no. You really need an agent who can dig deep and not rely on a glancing blow to determine the value of your home. It's just too important to get it priced right so that it doesn't stay on the market too long. Boy, was that enlightening? Leave me a comment below and let me know what you've learned, if anything, from this piece. How do you feel now about trying to determine the price of your home through an internet site? Be honest. Would you see a higher number and really go for that number? Or would you be more inclined to go for fair market value so that you'd get a quicker sale and not sit on the market for too long? Leave me a comment below. Let me know. You've heard me say it before. A house will sell within 2 weeks of being priced right. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, in each of these episodes, I've promised to share with you the lighter side of real estate by featuring one crazy, stupid, silly story. These stories are my favorite part of real estate. So what do we have for today? Let me see. This one comes from Sarah in Thatcher, Arizona. She says, you know how the sellers are supposed to disclose things about the property? When the roof was replaced, noisy neighbors, road improvements that are coming up next month? Well, we were doing our home inspection after we were in escrow, and I fell straight into an undisclosed human grave. Needless to say, the deal didn't go through. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. When you're thinking about selling your home, ask your agent, do you think I should disclose this grave in my backyard? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move on. Remember, whether you're looking to sell your home and move tomorrow or next year or somewhere down the road, you can give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom call. We'll talk about how to put the most do-re-mi in your pocket. When we see each other, you can ask about the 3 options for getting more do-re-mi from the sale of your home. I call these 3 options the do-re-mi options. One of these will be just right for you, and the other 2 won't be a fit. I'd love to go over these with you in person. Thanks for watching, and be sure and check the description below for any free giveaways.